Hi everybody. It's just a theme this week. I didn't expect it, but we're just going live every day because it's just that kind of happened. I have this huge mason jar full of, it's technically pre-workout, but it's natural, so I just drink it instead of coffee most mornings. And I have a lot to get done this morning. So, let's get to it. Today I wanted to share 5 things I've learned from 5 years of coaching. So July is actually my coach anniversary month, and I first signed up for coaching 5 years ago, and it's nuts. And I woke up thinking about that this morning, and I was, because I was getting up to do my power hour and check in on my girls in the virtual studio and planning out my workout and, all these things. And I was like, who would have thought 5 years ago what would have came to be and the type of person I would have been and all the gifts and blessings that coaching has brought to me. But I thought that these 5 things, more importantly, are also 5 things that I think we should all be doing. And even if you're not a coach or you're not interested in that, I still think that these 5 things are really important to pursuing a healthy, mindful, impactful life. So, first 5 things. So, number 1, personal development. So I first learned about this when I started coaching, and they're like, part of your job to be a good coach is to fill your head with positive stuff and learn about business and learn about mindset. And so I was like, oh, so I get paid to read. Okay, I could do that. I already loved reading, but I had never gotten into self-growth. So personal development. The first personal development book I ever read was called The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy. I remember I was away on a trip in Sauble Beach. I got the book from the library. I opened it up and I started reading it, and it's like my life changed. It's crazy how these little things happen, and it changes the directory of your life. I was taking like so many notes, and at the time I was with my ex-boyfriend's family, and they were just like, what is she doing? Like, it was just such a weird overnight switch for me. But personal development is huge, and that's something I've been doing now consistently for 5 years. And so that can look at, personal development can show up in different forms. So you could do reading, you could do an audiobook, podcasts. Personal development can also be like going to therapy. It could be having a conversation with someone who's like a few steps ahead of you, and just having a really great conversation with them and getting to know them better, because you're learning from them and where they've been and their opportunities and what's come up for them. And also personal development shows up in mentorship. So if you invest in a mentor or a coach like myself, those conversations, the time on the phone with them, the time getting to know them and goal setting with them and exchanging in their services is personal development. So I think it's really important that you spend 20 minutes every single day doing some sort of personal development in whatever form that shows up for you. For me, I enjoy reading, so I do that. And I also enjoy listening to podcasts. And the other thing about personal development is that the impact is so huge, and it takes so little time, and it's so easy to do. I press play on a podcast, and then I get up and I make coffee, or I have a shower, I do my makeup, whatever I need to do, and I'm listening to it the whole time. And I'm just filling my mind, and I'm taking notes, and that's where a lot of my inspiration for these videos comes from, is the podcast I'm listening to, or the chapter I just read, or the journaling notes I just took from a meditation. So I think it's really important that you spend 20 minutes every single day doing personal development. Okay, number 2. And if you're just joining, I'm sharing the 5 things that I've learned from 5 years of coaching, which is just nuts. Okay, personal development. Second one, the importance of community. And I'm not going to get emotional, but like, the community and the friendships that I have around me from coaching, I can't even. And I don't even see these women they live all over. Like, my best friend Christina is from Nova Scotia. My other best friend is in Indianapolis. My coach and my other friend Colleen is also from out east. And then I have friends in Ontario and all over, and it's so nuts. And they mean so much to me, and we get on our Zoom call dates, and we have our chats, and we work out together, and when I was just looking back at old photos from, like, every year we have an annual trip, a conference where we get together and do personal developments and workouts and brainstorm and see our team in the flesh, And like the second year of coaching, my first big event was in Nashville, and I'm like, I was so little, I was such a baby. It was my first solo trip, like flying there on my own and navigating it all, and meeting my coach for the first time. And I just remember those moments and like those friendships are so important to my health and well-being, and also just staying on track. And gosh, so for you guys, and you know, for what I want you guys to take away from that is to find your people, and to find people who make you want to work hard and make you want to show up. Find the people who give you grace and love, but also the ones who are going to give you the kick in the butt when you're like, you know, you've fallen off track and we're waiting for you to get back in here and get going again. And the ones who are patient. You know, I've had a lot of girls on my team who you know, take a little bit of time away, and then they come back stronger than ever, and reaffirming their vision and why they're here. And we just welcome them back with open arms. There's no judgment, there's no negativity. It's just this really open, positive, supportive space where everybody wants everyone to succeed. It's an abundance mindset, and there's no competition. And I just love that, and I want you guys to start looking and attracting those type of people into your life, whether it's through my world or through your own world, but those friendships and that community is irreplaceable. And when you find it, you have to hold on and invest in them, and they'll invest in you. Okay, third, the importance of consistency. I'm really good at consistency, and a lot of this is because of the last 5 years of it, and it's probably what a lot of my clients and what you guys come to me with is like, you're so consistent. How do you stay so consistent? Well, it's because it's accountability, and it's because I don't want to feel like shit, to be honest. And podcasts are new for me, and they're changing my whole life, right? And I like the term abundance mindset. Yes, and I wish I remembered where I learned that, probably from like the zillions of podcasts I listen to. But it's just so easy to plug into a podcast. So consistency takes time to establish in your everyday life, but it's really important because it's one of those things where you do it every day, a little bit every day, and you keep it going, and then all of a sudden one of your goals is like rolling down the hill super easy, and you're accomplishing it, or you can check something off your bucket list. Or you just like wake up and you're like, what am I doing pressing play on a workout? Like 5 years ago, I wouldn't have done that. So I feel like consistency might be the hardest one on this list to take on, but you just need to do a little bit every single day, and it will make everything in your life so much easier. Showing up for yourself. And I think another good tip for implementing consistency into your life long term is getting a really clear vision of what you want your life to look like, what your goals will feel like when you accomplish them, and then having a plan and getting accountability in place for that. So I wake up and I, read my vision, and I remember what my goals are and what I'm working for. I get really clear on how I will feel when I finish my workout. I get really clear on what it will feel like when I reach my 6-month goal and my 1-year goal, really clear on how it feels. And that's way more important, because eventually if that goal doesn't feel good anymore, then you need to pivot or shift or redirect, and that's okay. So being in alignment with what that will feel like, and that will then allow you to show up for the habits that you created, the routine you created, and that will firm up the accountability, which is where the community part comes in. These all intertwine and come together. Okay, 4, power hours. So I am like the queen of power hours. I love power hours. They're how I'm most productive. And here's the secret. If you have 8 hours to get something done, you're going to take the whole 8 hours. But if you give yourself 1 hour, then you're going to get it done in 1 hour. You get into a flow state, and part of that is setting yourself up for success. And a power hour means you're really clear on what you need to get done. You're like, I need to get X, Y, and Z done. And this happened to me on Wednesday. I worked out, and I had an hour and a half, maybe an hour chunk of time before I had to teach my yoga classes. And so I banged out so much work in that hour, because I went in knowing these are 4 things that need to get done. These 2 things are going to take me maybe 5-10 minutes. These 2 things are going to take more, or a chunk more of that time, 20-30 minutes. And so I was really clear on how it was going to get done, and I just went in and I made it happen. And they're what allows me to go to the beach or do fun things and fit more balance into my life because I'm really focused. And I do a power hour when I know I'm most productive, and that's in the morning. So think for yourself, when is your brain most creative, most productive, most focused? And this can change. I think for most people, whether we like it or not, it's the morning because we just slept and our body's refreshed and our mind isn't oversaturated and filled with all that junk. But again, some people get that second wave in the evening, so that's totally fine too. But I want you to think about, can you set up a consistent power hour at the same time every day? And if you're a parent, that might look a little different for you, and you might need to do, instead of power hour, like a power 20, which is totally doable, where you set a timer and you work for 20 minutes straight and you know exactly what you're getting done. And this is something I also say to the coaches on my team when I'm mentoring them, if they're working full-time jobs still and this is their side thing and they're building it, or maybe this is just their hobby thing but they have some goals for extra cash that month. You need to commit to and set up those power time buckets, whether it's 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, 60 minutes, and know what you need to get done in that time. And I promise your productivity levels will skyrocket. Okay, number 5, last thing, and then we'll do a quick recap. I learned the importance of fitness and food and what that looks like for my body as it's changed over the years. So when I first started, what I was doing is a little bit different than what I'm doing now, but the basics are the same, and I stuck to the basics because they work, because they're healthy, because they make me feel good. So the basics are moving my body every single day, and whether that looks like a 30-minute workout, a 20-minute workout, a 45-minute workout, whether that looks like doing yoga, lifting weights, cardio, I'm moving my body. And then attached to that is I'm always doing a program. I have a library of millions, not millions, but like thousands of workouts and programs. And so I make sure that I'm committed to a program all of the time. Otherwise, I lose focus, I fall off track, I'm not as committed and excited about it, and I like to feel organized and, again, clear. There's a lot of this is about like being clear and focused about what you're trying to obtain. So working out every single day, or moving your body, is a more appropriate term for that because that can include yoga. And for some of us, if you're experiencing injuries like I've had in the past, moving your body is going to look a little different. Like when I have clients who something comes up, that cardio program that they were doing now needs to be shifted into walking or doing yoga or doing low impact. So knowing that moving my body every day doesn't need to be like burpees and throwing hard weights around and running my ass around town. Like, it can be a little gentle, but the importance is that you're still moving your body because our bodies were built for that. And then food, I learned about healthy portions, what portions look like for me, and based on the type of movement and the amount of movement I'm doing, how those portions will fluctuate. I have been a vegetarian for the whole 5 years of coaching, and I've really experienced what that does for my body and how I feel and how I can substitute things in. Nourishing my body well, I drink a superfood smoothie every single day because it's 7 salads of nutrients and it makes me feel good, and I know how important it is for me to fuel my body. So think about your goals, your ambitions, your family, how you want to show up for your family, how you want to show up for your job. How important is it for you to show up every day at 100%? Really important. And it's even more important when you want to show up for other people. So I want you to think about what you put in your body and what you fill your head and your heart with as well matters. And sometimes being more motivated for other people is easier. And I think that's where accountability comes into play as well, is that you have to show up for others. And for some reason, most of us show up for other people more than we show up just for ourselves. That's why it's so important to plug into accountability and community. Okay, so let's do a quick recap. And if you're just joining us, I'm sharing the 5 things I've learned from 5 years of running my coaching business, and this is my 5th month anniversary, which is crazy. I started in 2015 and I was just a baby, and I've learned everything since that day 1 start date. So 1, personal development. Every single day, 20 minutes. 2, community. Find your people. Find the ones that love you and support you and build you up and support your goals and ambitions, but also the one who are going to be honest and say, hey, get back on track. Come in with us. I don't care what the last week looked like or the last 2 months. You belong here. Come in. 3, consistency. Showing up. This is why Every Day with Meg is like my tagline, because Every single day matters. Get the ball rolling and rolling. It gets easier. These are habits. They're not so hard anymore. Your mind is in the right place because you've consistently been telling yourself. Power hour, that's going to skyrocket your productivity. It's going to skyrocket your creativity, and it allows you to have more balance and more fun in your life. 5, fitness and food, and being committed to the evolution and the growth and the change that comes with that, because our bodies are always changing and our needs are always changing. But the base is that you should know what foods fuel your body well, that you're eating enough, portion control is super important, and that you're inviting supplements into your life and routine, because we want to show up at 100% every single day, and that means that we need to be consuming things that are going to give us that energy. Okay, so I hope that was helpful. I hope that invited some ideas for healthy habits into your life, and perhaps where you're already striving, perhaps you're already listening to podcasts, and that's great. So then where can you invite in more consistency or invite in a power hour? And I want you to know that I am available to help mentor you and invite you into my community. My virtual studio is running every single month. We have a different theme. Right now I'm running a secondary virtual studio, which is a test group for a new program. So if you're looking for a challenge, something new, that might be right up your alley. And I'm also, if you're curious about coaching, how I've been running a coaching business for 5 years, and I was just able to take it full time this year, what that could look like for you to have a little bit more freedom to run your own thing and inspire and motivate other people and make an impact and make an income at the same time. I have a mentorship that also runs every month. So I hope this was helpful. This is a full week of live videos. You can go back. I have all the IGTVs uploaded, and every day is just some sort of inspiration or motivation for you. And I hope that something sparks something in you and invited in, a new thought, so you can up-level your life and show up every day well. So have an awesome Friday. I'm going to get some more work done, then I'm heading to the beach. And I love you guys.